Very good afternoon to everyone present here for the 8th day, second session of FDP Phase 1. Myself, Nida Fatima, Assistant Professor, Department of Mechatronics, honored to welcome you all on behalf of Svce-Aicte College of Engineering for AICT sponsored 2-week online faculty development program on fostering ethics, moral values and character building in technical education from 23rd November to 5th of December 2020, organized by Department of Mechatronics, Sri Venkateshwara College of Engineering. For today's session, we have an eminent personality, Dr. Renuka R. Patil ma'am, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science Engineering. As a resource person, it's my privilege to welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Dr. Renuka ma'am has completed her bachelor's in Computer Science Engineering from REC, master's from Svce-Aicte and awarded PhD in Computer Science of Engineering from VTU recently in October 2020 under the guidance of our beloved principal, Dr. Suresha sir. For today's session, she is the personality and she is currently working as an assistant professor, Department of Computer Science Engineering. She has 10 plus years of teaching experience, 15 plus publication in various national and international journals, which includes IEEE and elsewhere. She is a life member of ISTE, IAENG, AMIE, and the list goes on. Ma'am has also given 10 plus talks on latex, data structures, cybersecurity, and networks in various colleges. With this brief introduction of you, ma'am, we would be delighted to be a part of the session. Ma'am is going to have a talk on principles and moral development in technical education. I would like to hand over the session over to you, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you very much. Thanks for the introduction. I'll share the screen. Could you please confirm me for the visibility of the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll go for slideshow. Ma'am, is it visible?
Yes, ma'am, the screen is visible.
Okay, thanks for the confirmation, ma'am. Thanks for the introduction once again. A very good afternoon to one and all present here for the session. A hearty welcome to all the participants for AICT sponsored 2 weeks online faculty development program on fostering ethics, moral values and character building in technical education. My topic, what I have chosen for this session is principles and moral development in technical education. Why we need, before proceeding with my slides and the presentation, I just want to glance some points why we need moral development, why we need to follow the principles, what are the rules, what are the regulations of the organization of our education system or any working place, why we need to follow, what is it is a basic thing we need to follow before proceeding with our working environment. We need to have these basic things. So that is a one thing why I have chosen with principles and moral development in technical education. So from beginning, like from our childhood, we started learning what is morality, what is ethics, how we should behave in the social environment, how we should respect each other. Everything we were guided by our parents, our gurus, and all. So this is what the topic I have chosen for the session. Before proceeding with my session, I want to take this opportunity to acknowledge my gratitude to one and all present over here and also the backbone of this session. For everyone, I want to acknowledge. I verbalize my deep sense of gratitude to the management, CED of SPGI, Dr. Shashidhar Munyappa sir, and my guru, Dr. Suresha sir, Principal SPC, Head of Department of Mechatronics Department, Dr. Vijayshri Budhyar ma'am, Head of Department of CSO, coordinators of this event and dear faculty friends for having faith on me and giving me an opportunity to be the part of this FTP session as a resource person on principles and moral development in technical education. Uh, I start up with an agenda like this. Why? What is ethics? What are the principles of education? What is morality? Dimensions of morality, components of educational technology, moral development in technical education, and so on. So let me start off with the first slide, first point of my agenda, that is what is ethics. So let us start with the first set of slides. We all know what is ethics. Ethics is a one, or I'll just start off with this slide with the best, wonderful thing, the one which I love, I like the most. That is, it takes less time to do things right, that to explain why you did it wrong. It's a saying by Henry Wordsworth. It's like, instead of doing wrong, be the person to do the right things. So it takes less time actually to do the right things, correct things. It takes less time, but rather to explain why you did it wrong, right? So why you did it wrong, how come you got this idea to do it wrong, everything, every explanation we need to give when we take a wrong step. So to explain all those things, it takes a lot of time. So instead of that one, we all should follow in a right way, as it takes much time, a much lesser time as compared to the doing the wrong thing. We need to give lot many explanations if we do any mistake, if we commit any mistake. So that is what the saying. This is just one of the sayings that I like the most. That's why I have put it in the slide. Um, as it is a post-lunch session, it is difficult to drag the participants for this general talk. So what I planned in my session is, in between the session, I will I will narrate some stories. Most of the stories we have heard in our childhood. Apart from that one, few more stories I have added. Okay, let me start with the ethics. What is ethics? It signifies a moral ground, an existence based on morals and principles and values. So it means moral principles which govern a person's behavior or conducting of an activity. It is a one, it's a character of a person which will tell you to guide, like how that person is. So it is a one, or it is like the attitude of a person. So ethics is a one which makes the opponent to judge you how you are. So that is the one ethics, or it's a behavior of a person which allows an opponent to judge us. That is what the ethics means. And we also say that it is a moral philosophy, and it's a branch of philosophy which involves systematizing, defending, and recommending concepts of right or wrong behavior. Yes. So here comes the thing like, okay, when we say that we need to do the right thing, there's a question of which is right, which is wrong. So that mindset only will allow you to do the right thing. So which is right, which is wrong. So those things only will build a person strong. Okay, once we analyze the ethics, we are going with the meta types of the ethics. In this, we are having three types of the ethics, like meta ethics, normative ethics, and the applied ethics. So ethics is a one which has many, what you say, points or the character things or many values. Okay, so let's just start up with the meta ethics. It's a one which will discuss about the ethical claims, and it seeks the answers to the nature of ethics, judgments, and moral statements. In meta ethics, we just have to get the answer. That's it. Whether it is right or wrong, yes or no, likewise. So that is what the meta ethics means. We won't dig into the concept, or we won't dig into the scenario or situation, why it is right, why it is wrong. So that again, it is a normative ethics. So an ethical claim may have been made while keeping certain factors in mind. Yes. So that's what I mentioned in the previous slide. It's a one which will make us to judge which is the right thing and which is a wrong thing. So based on this one, we have to choose a right path. So it may or may not be correct. So it depends on the situation. So for me, one situation, one scenario is correct. For the opponent, it is wrong. We cannot judge for, I mean, on some situations, we cannot judge whether he or she is right or wrong. According to that person, it might be right. So, but opponent should not take that opportunity to judge a person is right or wrong. So, meta ethics says that it is a one which we don't have any rights to say that this person is right or wrong. We don't dig it. Okay, so that is what the meta ethics. When we go for the normative ethics, that is the second type of the ethics. So the word normative, it signifies norms or rules to be followed. Yes. So in the meta ethics, we don't dig into the situation or scenario. So there we were just telling yes, it is right, or say no, this is wrong. Likewise, but in normative ethics, it signifies norms or rules. Certain rules are to be followed. Certain norms are to be followed when any person is performing any action. So the definition of normative ethics, it can be stated as laying certain rules about good or bad and following them diligently. Yes. So we first thing is we have to understand whether it is a good thing to do or bad thing to do. After that one, if any person comes and you ask why you did like this, if it is right, they may say that okay, yes, you did a good thing. If it is wrong, they will object. An opponent will object you. Why did you do like this? It shouldn't have happened like this. So in that condition, during that situation, you have to defend yourself, or we need to defend ourselves. Why did we do like this? Even though it is wrong, why did we do like this? So there might be reason to do a mistake, but those reasons should also support a person why he or she did a mistake. So that is where the normative ethics is coming into picture. And uh, that is to say, a person may analyze his actions and classify them as good or bad based on the norms. Yes. So some norms or rules might be stopping him to do any good or bad thing, right? So we need to analyze those rules or those situations under which the person is coming across. And it may not be necessary that the good actions indicate good person or bad actions indicate that the person is bad. Yes, of course, we need to agree for this one. We cannot judge a person like good or bad based on his actions. There are reasons which made that person to do or which force that person to do a bad thing. I'll give some examples where we will come across a person is forced to do a bad thing. For us, it might be bad, it might be a wrong thing, but for that person who is facing that situation, it might be he might be feeling that it is a good thing for him. So we need to analyze why he did a good thing or bad. In the same way, in the technical education also, we before judging students' behavior, we have to understand why the students are behaving like this. So what made them to behave like this? Then only we can analyze whether the student is wrong or we are wrong, or whether the student is right or wrong. So based on the situations, before giving the decisions, we have to understand the previous situation, what made them to do a right thing or bad thing or wrong thing. So that is what the normative ethics means. Next comes the third type of the ethics, that is applied ethics. Applied ethics is a philosophical examination from a moral standpoint of particular issues in private and public life, which matters for moral judgment. Yes. So there are many fields, not only in technical education. We need to apply this moral development of principles in all the domains, in various working places, or in not only in technical, in other education system, in schools, in some other degree colleges, Likewise, we need to apply this moral development uh, things. Yes. So this applied ethics means we, okay, in case of court itself, if we take, we know that a lawyer, I mean, lawyer is safe, always lawyer safeguards his client, right? Even though the client has done a mistake, a lawyer will be defending a client in such a way that he has not done any mistake. Likewise, about that, the lawyer will be knowing that his client has done the mistake. What is that? Is this the ethics? Okay, we can understand or we can judge. If there are some scenarios, he is, I mean, it's all, I mean, we are all working or we are all lead, I mean, facing some scenarios why we are this is what the life, okay, so he for his life he might be doing something else, like what in business ethics, professional ethics, machine ethics, relational ethics, military ethics, public service ethics, bioethics, this applied ethics will come into picture. So whatever ethics we learned in our childhood, that is applied. So where and all we need to apply. So that is what the applied ethics means. Yes, I have a picture here. So this is the one which will differentiate between meta ethics and normative ethics. Ethics. Yes, there are two persons which are arguing. Like a person says, "Is it wrong?" He's asking a query. Is it wrong to kill a one person to save many lives? The person, that lady says, yes, it is wrong to kill. Yes, this is what the thing. So the normative ethics, it just cautions about whether it is bad or good. So whether it is telling, it just tells whether it is good thing to do or bad thing to do. It is just a caution. But meta ethics will dig into the morality of the ethical claim. So it is the one which will make us to decide whether it is wrong or right. For this, I want to narrate one story here. There is a poor family. In that family, couples, only one couple is staying, like husband and wife. Wife is has fallen sick. She has to undergo many operations, surgery, and all. For that, it's a poor family. For that one, husband has to spend money. A doctor will suggest one prescription. Okay, uh, husband will go to get that prescription from the druggist. In the druggist, for druggist, for husband, wife, or for doctor, for everyone, they need to lead a life, right? So druggist, what the druggist, chemist, or druggist or chemist, whatever is convenient, will take that. So druggist will say that he is selling the medicine. It's like 10 times the one which he got it. Okay, so it's like if it is of cost 100, he is selling it for 1,000 bucks. So likewise, the druggist is doing. And the prescription, what it was there, for what it was given by the doctor, it was of cost 200 bucks. But when he goes to the druggist, he will tell that it charges, I mean, it costs 2,000 bucks. Then the husband will tell them, I don't have that much of money. Could you please help me? My wife is completely sick. She has to undergo so many surgeries. It is urgently needed. Then the judges will say that no, this is also, I mean, I'm also leading a life. For me also, money is important. You get from somewhere, you get the money. You ask your friends, relatives, get the money. I will give the medicine. Then the husband will go and ask for his friends and relatives and all. After asking, after requesting, after begging, he will get 1,000 bucks. Then he will come to the druggist and ask, at last, with lot of efforts, I got this much amount of, I mean, this much amount I got, only 1,000 bucks. Then the druggist will not agree for that one, right? So he, after begging, after husband begging so many times, the druggist will not give the medicine, right? And I mean, he's not having that much of patience. Everything is to be done spontaneously, right? So what he will do is he will take the action. He will broke the glass and he will he will take the medicine and he will grab the medicine and go to the hospital. In this scenario, my question is whether that husband, whatever that ex-person husband, what activity he has undergone, whether it is right or wrong. Okay, so if we stand as a part of that ex-person, that is husband, then we say that whatever he has done, it is right because for him, his wife's life is very important, very precious. If we stand at the part of the druggist, then we say that that husband wouldn't have done like this. For him also, it is a loss. Likewise, we can narrate or we can tell. So who is right and who is wrong. So there are many scenarios. We cannot if we sit for discussion, this discussion is never ending. So this debate will never be ended. So if we go for ethics discussion, it will be a never ending story. Likewise. So this is meta ethics and normative ethics. Let us go for the components of the ethics on which the ethics is based on which the ethics is standing. It's like honesty, integrity, transparency, accountability, confidentiality, respectfulness. Not only these points will come into picture when we say that ethics. No, we have many more points which will support for the ethics, which will stand for the ethics. Apart from this, I will just uh, go for the next slide with one point like that. Honesty. What do you mean by honesty? We all, from beginning, we have like from childhood, we have we have been told like you should be very honest, don't lie. Likewise, right? For our children also, we are telling you should, whatever the situation, you should not lie, like that, right? So why we need to do this one? To gain the trust of opponent, we should be honest. So in technical education also, we should be honest. So suppose any person is listening to you means you should be honest or it should not be kind of preach. You adopt those characters in yourself or we should adopt all those characters in ourselves and later we should go for telling. Okay, at least we can take ourselves as an example and tell. See how, or we can explain our examples only or whatever problems we face, those examples only we can tell, we can narrate and we can tell to the students or to the opponents. See, these are the scenarios which saved me or which which could not save me. Likewise, we can say, we can narrate the scenarios and we can convince the opponent. So we know that honesty is the best policy. If I lose my honor, I lose myself. It's one of, it's again one of my liking sayings. It's from William Shakespeare, greatest philosopher. He refers to a facet of moral character and denotes positive virtuous attributes such as integrity, truthfulness, and straightforwardness, along with the absence of lying, cheating, or theft. Okay. So this is what the honesty. Yes, from childhood we have heard this story. I have two pictures on this screen. One is telling a kid is following old lady saying that your money has fallen. This is your money. Excuse me, you dropped your money, like that. So to be truthful in what you do and say. So that lady in return, okay. So in return, that lady may become happy and uh, ask that girl to keep that money with herself. Likewise, it's a kind of reward. So every uh, ethics it's having, it will be gaining its own value. Okay, so that girl has gained a trust from that old lady. So it is what the honesty. Otherwise, she should have kept the money, but she was doing a wrong thing by not telling to the old lady. She went and she ran behind that old lady and told that your money has dropped. So she's giving that in return. Okay, this is what the story, that woodcutter story. We have heard this. from our childhood, right? There is a poor woodcutter who used to lead his life only by adopting this work, by selling the woods, right? So one day he goes and starts cutting the wood, but it fall. I mean, it falls in the river. He could not get as it is very deep, and then he prays for the God. God will come and ask for. He will get the silver one, and he will ask that person whether is this your eggs or what. Then he says, no, 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 my this is silver one. I had my wooden one. Okay, then again the god will go into the river and get the golden one, right? So then he will say that it is gold one, mine is again wooden one. Then at the third time, the god will get the wooden eggs. Then the person will accept, yes, this is my uh, instrument. This is my eggs only. Then the god will be very happy and he will return all the three eggs to uh, person, right? So this is the honesty uh, story. For every children, we used to narrate this story. Then comes the integrity. Integrity. For this one, I just want to start up with one saying by Samuel Johnson, who says that integrity without knowledge is weak and useless, and knowledge without integrity is dangerous and dreadfulness. Yes, we need to agree for this one, and we need to adopt this saying in our technical education also. The word integrity is derived from the Latin adjective integer, that means the wholeness. Yes, integrity is a concept of consistency of actions, values, methods, measures, principles, expectations, and outcomes. Okay, regarding this principles and expectations, we will be discussing in my upcoming slides. And integrity, it can be regarded as the opposite of hypocrisy, and it regards internal consistency as a virtue. Yes, integrity. Yes, we need to agree for this one. Wrong is wrong, even if everyone is doing it. It is wrong, even though all are doing that thing. It is wrong only. Right is right, even when no one is doing it. Right? We need to support the right thing. Again, the judgment should not be taken on spot. It should be analyzed first. Which is what is right, what is wrong, right? So then comes, yes, integrity. It's one which is having, or which is a bundle of honesty, strength, character, honor. Be true to yourself, high standards, help others, keep your promises, doing things well, follow the rules, be kind, always tell the truth. So these are all the facts which will make the integrity as one complete bundle, right? Next comes the transparency. So these are all the basic points of the ethics which are supporting the ethics. A lack of transparency results in distrust and a deep sense of insecurity. Yes, if we are hiding something from an opponent, we ourselves will be under insecurity. We will be feeling insecure, right? So nothing should be hidden. Then only we will be feeling very free. We don't have nothing in our mind, nothing like that. We should be very transparent. Or if we have done the mistake, let us tell we did this mistake. So what is a punishment? Like that. We should be very transparent in nature. Nothing should be hidden from opponent. For students also, nothing should be hidden. And for the previous thing, I'll just narrate one more story. Like in the exam, suppose X person is an invigilator and the students are writing the exam. There are two students. There are two students who are very close to each other. They are friends, very close to each other, who are sitting one behind the other, right? And what happens here is the person who is sitting behind, he asks an answer to his friend, close friend, who is sitting to his front. He will show the answer, right? And for that person, which is wrong or right, we cannot tell. That's what we should stand in their position and judge. right? So he shows the answer to the friend, and he is thinking that okay, if I show this answer, he will be passed in the exam. He wants his friend to be passed. That's the reason why he's showing the answer to his friend. For an invigilator, for that X person who is an invigilator, it is a wrong thing. Copying is a wrong thing. If we stand in that position, in friend's position, or the person who is showing in that in his position, he might be right. He is helping somebody, right? So we cannot judge. These are the some situations we cannot give a complete answer whether that person is right or wrong. That then don't come up with a question like then why you are sending a person outside who is copying and who is showing the answers. We cannot judge, right? So this is where a person will be this is again a debate, right? If we ask all the three person to sit and tell tell their situations, we cannot give judgment. So this is one of the situations where we come across in our this academics activities, right? So this is examination hall. Yes, transparency is a general quality. It is implemented by a set of policies, practices, and procedures. And it allows citizens to have accessibility, usability, utility, understandability, informativeness, and auditability of information and process held by centers of authority. Yes, it's the society or organizations. Yes, hurt me with the truth, but never comfort me with a lie. Yes, this is most acceptable thing. Okay, so we always for anything like for student also we tell that, right? So if any person is coming and submitting the assignment, we tell that we first question what we ask to him is him or to her is whether you copied it, right? Whether you copy, whether you have stolen from somebody else and you are submitting this as yours. We ask so many queries to the student, right? So why we are asking these students? Actually, we, being the teacher, being the faculty, we should not ask these queries to the students. The students are making them to ask such question, such type of questions because already we have come across those situations where, like in the beginning, from the beginning, we will be accepting the assignment from the students, thinking that yes, honestly, they have written their assignment and submitted. When we go for correcting that, we will come to know, okay, this is stolen or he might have copied from somebody else like that. So when we come across such situation, next thing in the next at the next time, we will ask to the next student that whether you have copied it from somebody else or you have stolen from anybody else like that. These are the students who are making us to ask such queries. So from beginning, we will not be having our mindset to ask such queries. Okay, so it is a environment which has been created for a faculty to ask such queries. Okay, after that one, what we say that okay, if you tell like don't tell that. I mean, we will convince the students like if you are not done, not completed assignment also doesn't matter, but don't ever tell that don't ever come up with a lie that you have done it by yourself. Likewise, okay. So we will be in that situation. We will make the student to. This is what hurt me with the truth, but never comfort me with a lie. If you have not done assignment, also I will be okay. No, doesn't matter. You told the truth. I will accept it. But don't ever come to me saying that this is your assignment, even though it is stolen by somebody else, right? So this is what the transparency. We need the transparency from the, we expect the transparency from the students. Next, the saddest, I have one more picture here. The saddest thing about betrayal is that never comes from your enemies. Exactly. So it is always, most of the time, it comes from our circle only. It doesn't come from the enemies. So this is what the transparency means. Next is accountability is often used synonymously. Yes, here it is like if you have committed any mistake, be open. Be open to the all that you have done a mistake. You accept it. right? Accountability is often used synonymously with such concepts as answerability, blameworthiness, liability, and other terms associated with the expectation of account giving. It is an acknowledgement and assumption of responsibility for actions, products, decisions, and policies, and be answerable for resulting consequences. Yes, if we have be answerable for the resulting consequences. After accepting that you have done mistake, you should be ready to face the consequences. Whatever punishment the opponent is giving, we should be able to face it. It doesn't matter because I have done a mistake, I have committed a mistake. Let me accept the punishment also. Like I mean, I'm fine with the punishment, whatever he or she is telling, and it cannot exist without proper accounting practices. Yes. So here is a picture which will tell about the accountability. A leader is asking, I mean, some mistake has happened in the group, in the team, and the leader is asking who has done this mistake. So at the left side, so the people are discussing as if they don't, I mean, I don't know whether they know it or not, but the people, they started discussing among themselves that who has done the mistake, who has done the mistake, like that. But the leader, he needs the answer. So this is the right one, accountability. What this second picture is telling, there is a person who is telling that I did this mistake. That person is answering. He or she says, yes, I did this mistake. I shouldn't have done. Okay, I'm fine with the punishment that you are ready to give. So this is what the accountability. Next, confidentiality. Yes, confidentiality is a virtue of loyal, as loyalty is a virtue of faithfulness. Yes, confidentiality is an ethical principle of desertion associated with a profession such as medicine, law, psychotherapy. So, yes, most important thing is if somebody comes and tells some matter, some information, if it is to be maintained confidentially, please, it is our I mean, it is our duty to maintain the confidentiality of that information. It should not leak out. So, this confidentiality as a part of ethics, it plays a vital role in many domains like medicine, law, and psychotherapy. Right. So, in law and mediation, there exists communications between the client and the professional, which are privileged communications, which not disclosed there. So in business, the confidentiality of information, a mainstream adoption, the need to know. No, we should not have this urge of knowing the things, right? So we should not be. In military, it is basic to the security of corporate information. Yes, we should. In military also, it plays a confidentiality plays a vital role. So these are the some pictures. If somebody tells that no means no, we should not leak out this information. Don't tell to anybody means yes, we should not. They trusted us and they had trust on us, and that's the reason why they told the information. We should maintain that trust, right? How I mean, again, trust and honesty, they are linked to each other. If we are honest to a person, we can gain the trust of the opponent. Respectfulness, I'm not concerned with your liking or disliking me. All I ask is that you respect me as a human being. Very informative or very useful saying, like it is from Jackie Robinson. He says it's not like, I mean, I'm least bothered whether you like me or dislike me, but respect me as a human being. So respect gives a positive feeling of esteem for a person and conduct representative of that esteem. If you don't like a person, just say we need to stay away. But in case of students and teacher relationship, that doesn't happen, right? Whether you like or dislike, you should treat that person as a student. We should treat that person as a student, right? So this is where the respectfulness will come into picture in technical education. So after discussing all these parts of the ethics, we have like, respect is earned, honesty is appreciated, trust is gained, loyalty is the one which is returned. Honesty is appreciated, trust is gained, loyalty is returned. Yes, after discussing the ethics, we are going for the topic of the session like principles for the education. We have 7 principles for our in any mode of education, like it be technical education or some other degree education in any degree college or in any institution. So we need to follow these 7 principles of education. Which are the principles? Like we need to encourage contact between students and faculty. Yes, we need to build an environment in which both students and faculty will be feeling comfortable. We need to build a comfortable zone for both students and faculty. Nothing should be hidden um, from the student and from the faculty also. So develop reciprocity and cooperation among the students, encourage active learning, give prompt feedback, emphasize time on task, communicate high expectations, respect diverse talents and ways of learning. First thing, what we need to build when a student and faculty is coming into picture, we need to build a comfort zone. So the semester commences and we are going for the first class. As soon as we enter the class, we cannot start up with the syllabus. We need to build a comfort zone where both of us, like students and faculty, will be feeling very comfortable. It is a relation. It's a bonding till the end of semester, till the student completes his or her degree. It's a bonding between us between a faculty and the students. For that reason, and that is a first stage, that is a first step, which will take you to the last step, right? So develop reciprocity and cooperation among the students. Yes. So here in most of the institutions, like it's happening. So if a student is coming late to the college, right? So some reasons will be there. Of course, we also will be late for some other reasons, right? So what is the reason? Whether it is acceptable, not acceptable, whether it is repeating, not repeating. So that those things have to be analyzed basically, and it should be a kind of cooperation. Okay, fine. If today you are coming late, don't repeat it like that. So we should tell the student. Next, encourage active learning. So we need to encourage the students for their active participation in seminars, workshops, in whatever kind of activities beyond the syllabus, right? Give prompt feedback. Even though we don't, I mean, it's not like liking a person or disliking a person. Their behavior is not, so it is not, I mean, we cannot feel comfortable with that person means that is a thing. We cannot dislike or like that, like a person. We should give a prompt feedback. A student should give a prompt feedback about the faculty. Similarly, faculty should give the prompt feedback about the student. Emphasize time on task. Yes, it is must. Communicate high expectations and respect diverse talents and ways of learning. So these are the 7 basic principles for education. Next, aims of education. Why do we need this education? This is for acquisition of knowledge, self-preservation, harmonious development. Yes, we need to acquire the knowledge, right? In this current scenario, so we should update our knowledge. Not only like if we have gained, we have uh, awarded a degree means that is end of the or learning. No, we cannot. So day to day we should get updated to be stable in this environment, right? Working environment or in any social environment. So acquisition of knowledge we should. Next, self-preservation. Yes, this is again a must, which is one of the aims of the education. Like harmonious development, complete living. Yes, we must. Next, humanization, highest degree of individual excellence, social efficiency, professional efficiency. So these are the aims. Why are we going for the education? Next, principles of ethical power for an individual. Why for an individual? Why do we need principles of ethical power? Like for purpose, for pride, for patience, for persistence, for perspective, we need the principles of ethical power, right? So we need to understand what is the purpose of the thing, what we are doing, what is a pride. I mean, if we do this, what what do we feel, right? So what our family is feeling about us. Next, patience. Yes, we should have this. Persistence, perspective. These are the five principles of ethical power for an individual. Next comes the morality, and what are the dimensions of the morality? So, from the beginning of this FTP session, we are discussing about the ethics, morality, principles, human values, blah blah blah. In regarding this ethics in complete FTP session, right? So, I'll just take few seconds to differentiate between this ethics and the morality. It's the standard of society used to decide what is right or wrong. Yes, if it is in group, then it is a morality. So if an individual person is doing, it is a ethics, right? So it's the standard of society. The society has set some rules. We need to follow that one. The institution has set some rules. So those rules are applicable for all the faculty and students. We need to follow, right? So one or two excuses we can have, but we need to follow. When set of rules are set by an institution or educational system, we need to follow those rules only. Okay, so this is what morality, that is, which is happening in group. So it is a society used to decide what is right or wrong behavior. So an example of morality is the belief by someone that is wrong to take what doesn't belong to them, even if no one would know. Yes, see, a person is stealing something. Okay, so actually it doesn't belong to him. He is stealing something, even though no one is knowing. That is wrong thing, right? So no one is looking at him. Even though no one is looking at him, again it is a wrong thing, right? So what is morality? So we are always, I mean, that's what throughout this FTP we are coming across these questions only. So in ourselves we'll be having two mindsets. Like one is telling to do the bad thing, one is telling to do the good thing. We cannot judge that, but those two events are opposite to each other, right? One is telling to do, one is telling not to do, right? So whether it is right or wrong, that is irrelevant. So the one which is making you to decide right or wrong is ethics, right? So what is right, what is wrong is a one which is told by, I mean, it is described by the ethics. Okay. Relate to the concepts of what is right or wrong in a particular society. If it's concerned to complete society, complete institution or working area, then it is a morality, right? So what is acceptable or unacceptable conduct in the society known as moral attitudes as rules of conduct that are associated with certain distinctive psychological and social attributes. Yes, those who obey the moral rule will tend to feel the sentiments known as virtue, and if she or he disobeys the morality rules, she or he tend to feel guilty. Yes. So after doing the wrong thing, we ourselves will be feeling guilty. So that is the aim, the punishment what we got by ourselves, right? I mean, nobody has punished us. Afterwards, after feeling the wrong, after doing wrong thing, we ourselves we start feeling, oh, we shouldn't have done like that. Itself is the biggest punishment. Generally, everybody says that, okay, right? So in 1961, Strawson he explained this morality as the rules or principles governing human behavior which apply universally within a community or class. Yes. So for a community, we'll be having set of rules. For a complete institution, we are having set of rules and regulations. Some protocols we need to follow. So that is what the morality. So if we are going against these protocols, it is a wrong thing. So which then the ethics will come into picture. Types of moral issues. We have two types of moral issues, that is microethics and the microethics and macroethics. So microethics, it is an approach which stresses more on problems that occur on daily basis in the field of engineering, and it's practiced by the engineers. Microethics. And macroethics is an approach which deals with social problems are unknown. Yes. So the social problems, we are not aware of the social problems. So if simply we are rushing and we start uh, giving the suggestions or solving the problems, they again it is a macro ethics. It's not concerned, right? Without knowing the environment, if we rush into that scenario and start working on it or start solving the problem, it doesn't have that much of value at all. We cannot give the correct judgment. However, these problems may unexpectedly face the heat of both regional and national levels. Yes, of course, we will be having, I mean, it bounces back, right? So moral issues, so engineering ethics, microethics and macroethics. Again, in microethics, we'll be having individual ethics and professional ethics. In microethics, professional ethics and social ethics. So professional ethics, it is coming into picture for both microethics and macroethics. So individual ethics, it is honest, integrity, and fairness. Not only this, transparency, accountability, all will come into the picture. That is for individual ethics. Social ethics, sustainable development, but completely they are related to the social. Okay, so this is regarding the ethics. Next, yes, dimensions of the morality. On what basis, on what dimensions you will judge the morality? So that is based on three dimensions. We judge the morality based on some rules, some responsibilities, and the respect. Yes. So I say that morality is again, it's a part of ethics, or say that when it is happening at institution level, when it is happening at the group, yeah, at the group level, then it is a morality, right? So ethics is an individual thing, morality it's a group. So when some sets of rules are given, defined by the institution, we need to follow those set of rules. That is morality. Responsibility, we should have some responsibility in the institution, and similarly the respect. Why do we need this moral development for in the technical education? I will discuss in the next slide itself. Okay, we have very famous stages of the moral development, which is defined by Kohlberg. That is called as Kohlberg's 6 stages of moral development. He has defined 6 phases of the moral development, like avoiding punishment, self-interest, good boy attitude, good boy or girl attitude. It's not like boy, it's good boy or girl attitude, law or order morality, social contrast, and principle. Again, these 6 stages have been defined or have been divided into 3 stages. One is called as the pre-conventional stage, which is applicable for the person who is of age between 3 to 7 years, years of age. Next, second one is related to conventional stage. So these developments, these moral developments, they are happening for a person who is of age limit 8 to 30, and above 30, they are classified under post-conventional ethics or morality. Post-conventional, it is adulthood. Okay, so post-conventional, it is moral reasoning based on personal ethics. So based on their personal ethics, they will be affecting to the society. They will be replying back to the society. It's pre-conventional moral reasoning. So this is, as I said, it is happening or it is divided for the age limit of 3 to 7 years. So during that age, a person is not, a kid is not able to judge which is right or which is right and which is wrong. So we, being the parents, being the teachers, We should guide the kids in such a way that if you proceed in this way, this is what the right path, this is what the ethical path, this is what the moral path. Likewise, we need to guide our kids, our children. So moral reasoning based on reward and punishment. Yes. So if any kid by mis I mean the kids, they are not aware which is right and wrong. We cannot tell that he has done the right thing or he has done the wrong thing. No, by knowingly or unknowingly. Of course, it is unknowingly. Kids will be doing the mistakes, right? They are not known. They don't know which is right and wrong. We, being the elders, we should, being the parents, being the teachers, we should guide the kids, and we should punish. Punishment is not the ultimate solution. We can in our short words also we can tell that no, it's not the right thing to be done. Some other ways are to do. Likewise, we can tell. Next is conventional, which is happening from 8 to 13. So here, by this period, the kids are grown up and they can differentiate which is right and wrong. So this is the one which will making them to, uh, it is like provoking a person to do the wrong thing. This is the age where a person is provoked to do the wrong thing. So there we need to guide the students. So next, post-conventional. After this, again, stay here. In these two stages, we come across completely ethics, right? Only for the individual, only for a single person, or for a for single person. But when the third stage comes into picture, that is post-convention, it is completely for the group. It is for the set. So institution level, at working place. So like there we can define this post conventional morality. Next we have, yes, so this is the same Kolsberg 6 stages, which are where and all we need to apply these. So these stages. So obedience and punishment, self-interest, it is for self. Yes, kids for themselves. Okay, good boy or girl for family, law and order, social contrast. Like, so this is a stage. The second stage, it is for community, and the last one is for the principal conscience. It's for the humanity. Next, components of the educational technology. So when we say that one educational system is, what are the basic components without which the educational system cannot be called, without which, right? So for the completeness of the educational system, we have 5 components like teacher, student, technology, content, and context. It's like communication in the network, right? To have the communication in the network, we should have, what is communication? It is just a discussion between two persons, right? So one person is ready to tell or speak, so that is the sender who is ready to send the information. So in CS department we have one subject, right? Communication. Likewise, this teacher, if any one of these components is missing, then we cannot say that it is a complete education system. All these 5 components must be there to call any system as an educational system. So teacher, yes, we must have teacher as one of the components. Next, student, of course. Next, technology, what we need to tell, what we need to teach. Next, content. Within the technology, what content we need to give. Next, the context. Context is the one which will be dealing about this technology and the content where and all we are going to apply. So these technology and the contents. Next comes the moral development in technical education. Yes, till now we have seen, we have read, we have gone to news channels and all, or we have read newspapers and all, saying that this person, this candidate or this student from IIT has got so much of package and he's placed in Google, he's placed in Facebook, he's placed in Amazon, likewise, right? For the with a package of 50 lakhs, 60 lakhs, likewise. But no way, I mean, it is very small percent where we are coming across such news is that this IIT candidate has gone to village and he is working for the village for development of his village or any village and giving a good thing to the society. Nowhere, it's very little. It might be like 0.001%. We are just hearing, right? So most of the news they are telling that this person is placed in so and so company. We insist the students to get a good job in good company with a good package, right? Never we tell any student to, of course we guide, of course we tell, or of course we give all the infrastructure to make, but that moral development somewhere I feel like we are lagging. We are not insisting students to go back to villages and develop the rural areas or giving the best to the society. So this is what it just came to my mind, and I thought that this is a platform to discuss, and we are just promoting, we are just provoking the students to get good job with highest package, with good job, I mean good in good companies and all, right? So we can motivate the students. This is one of the moral developments for the students which is very much required. And in the same way, institutions also, rather concentrating on the placements, if they concentrate on the academics or whatever percentage of concentration they are putting or whatever efforts they are putting for placement, if they put for the academics also, we can have the good results at the end, right? So there are some colleges which will be dragging the students only on the basis of the placement. They will say that we are giving by the end of your third year only. So technical education, I'm telling, by the end of third year only, you will be placed in good companies and all. So if you get admission in our colleges and all. So they are dragging the students, telling you'll be placed in good companies and all. No, apart from placements, we should put efforts for the academics also. We should not only academics, we can build or we can have a moral development for a student who will go back or who will show interest in development of rural areas. It's again one of the best, what we can say, good thing what we can have in our society. So morality in an organization, yes, human relations are based on two values. One is personal values and other one is corporate values. Corporate values is a one where a person is working, where we are all working. So personal values, again ethics, okay. So we should not be hurt. Corporate values, the complete institution should not be hurt. For that reason, the employee should work. So human relationships is based on personal values and the corporate values. So this is for the organization. Next, personal and organization morality, business ethics. It is based on business ethics, commitment, honesty, loyalty, mutual trust or mutual respect, courtesy, work attitudes, and action orientation. Yes, personal and organization for both, for development of personal values and organization values, values of morality, we can say. So these are the points which are very much required. Business ethics, commitment, honesty, loyalty. We should have honesty, loyalty. We should be loyal, right? And some changes required to support some moral development. Yes, that's what I discussed. How we can train the students to get something good from the students to the society. So that those are some of the changes which are required in technical education, right? So in medical and all, we know that, right? So if I mean a medical student, if he completes his or her degree, he or she has to serve 1 year. We have the internship, right? So likewise, they have to go back to village and serve there, and after that only they will get the complete degree. Likewise, so we should have such kind of internships or projects to develop, which will help for the rural development again, which will help for the nation development. So this is what I felt which is required in the technical education. And with this discussion, I have come to an end of my session with a conclusion like I have bundled all the things whatever I discussed in this session with this. So we can say that we should have the cognitive development with the ethics, morality development with the morality, and I mean this is cognitive development, language development, and attachment. So this is a picture which will conclude my uh, session. So if any of the participants are having queries, I can take the query. The ma'am.
No, ma'am, no questions from the participants.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
With your permission, shall we wind up now,
Yeah.
or shall we wait for a few seconds for the queries?
Okay, ma'am.
Yes. Okay then. As we don't have any queries,
Hello.
yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
Oh, so there is a saying. Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. There is a saying, stories is the most powerful way to put ideas into the world. The way you have explained the concepts by the stories and the pictures were mesmerizing, ma'am. Thank you for the wonderful, innovative, and interesting talk on principles and moral development in technical education. I would like to thank you on behalf of Sri Venkateshwara College of Engineering, Management, Department of Mechatronics, and to all the participants for attentive listening and making the session a grand success. Thank you once again, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Have a great evening, ma'am.
Same here.